We're in 2025 and it's CES week. The Consumer Electronics Show is on in Las Vegas. I'm super excited. I'm going to be flying out there and I'll be reporting back to you guys from Wednesday the 8th. I'm going to be putting out some videos and loads of interesting stuff about what's going on in the world of XR and spatial computing. And as a little Easter egg for you guys, I'm going to be adding some spatial video content for you to download and check out in Vision Pro, MetaQuest, or any of the devices that can play back spatial video. I'll be leaving the links in the description of my CES video, so don't forget to download those, check them out and tell me what you think. So welcome to the AVE travel vlog of a kind. We're going to be doing a little bit of coverage, vlogging, everything on our way to CES in Las Vegas. So I'm on the road. I've hit the road to Heathrow Airport here in the UK. I'm quickly charging my car and I'm heading to grab a coffee. So let's go and do it. Something that I haven't mentioned and I think was really important for me, for you guys, was that I haven't traveled with Vision Pro since I purchased Vision Pro. Now that was back in April 2024 and it's when I purchased it in New York City, flew back with it. It was really early days of me understanding how Vision Pro really worked. And I wouldn't turn around and say it was a bad experience. It wasn't a bad experience, but what I would say is that I wasn't 100% sure about how I was traveling with it, how to use it, how to be prepared before I got on board maybe as well. And obviously understanding what was available in terms of media to download for it. So in this video, I'm going to be particularly sort of going through as we kind of move through to the airport and onwards, because I'm currently still sat in my car at the sort of side road service station after grabbing a coffee. But I wanted to sort of like give you a bit more understanding of what is available, what I've downloaded, things you might not be aware of that might be accessible to download, and remembering that when you're on board, I would never rely on the onboard Wi-Fi. It's likely not going to be good enough to work for streaming, so you definitely want to make sure you've got stuff downloaded on your device when you're traveling, whether it be on a flight or train or wherever. So follow me traveling with Vision Pro to CES 2025. Checked in and I'm ready to go to departures. As you can see, I'm wearing the Meta Ray-Bans, which is going to help me document my trip as we go through the airport and onto the flight. And I'm going to fill you in on how I'm traveling with Vision Pro on this trip. Just currently in the airport lounge, and I thought I'd go through what I'm taking with me in my Vision Pro case. Now, this is the case that I've decided to go with. This is the Ana Pro case, and when I open it up, I've got my Apple Vision Pro battery in here. I've got any accessories I need, like my AirPod Pros in here, and then as you can see, I've got Vision Pro Solo Knit Band on, Ana Pro 2 on. That's the beauty of having this case. I obviously have the official Apple case, which I've stolen my little sort of travel accessories bag from. I've got a spare battery, but this is for like any of my devices, whether it be my iPhone or my headphones, anything. So not just for Vision Pro, but hopefully this will get me through my whole flight for all those devices. In here I've got my AirTag in there, and I've got my Belkin strap, just in case I want to add some extra support to the headset if it starts getting a bit heavy over time. yeah, and then I've put just something in there just in case it ever gets lost. But yeah, it's a nice compact little setup. I have put a carabiner on my backpack that I'm taking with me on the trip and just hook it onto there. So that's my travel case setup, everything for Apple Vision Pro on this trip. And when I get on board, I'll set up travel mode and jump straight into watching a ton of media. The places that I've downloaded media from were Disney Plus, Apple TV, and also I've downloaded media from Amazon Prime as well. Now, even though that is an iPad app, you can still download media on it, which is great. So I've now got a ton of media ready to watch. A lot of the things that you download when you're downloading it from something like Disney Plus, like some of the 3D movies from Disney Plus and Apple TV, is that the file sizes are quite large. So just be aware of that. But as it stands at the moment, I've only got a 256 gig Vision Pro and it has fit a ton of media on it. So I'm really excited. And yeah, next stop, boarding.
Enjoy your flight.
That's great, thank you. Hi there, 58H. Thank you.
Flight time today is 9 hours and 44 minutes. Flight conditions are forecast to be generally smooth, however, as always, we do recommend when you're not moving around the cabin, we do keep your seatbelt loosely fastened just in case.
So one of the first things I did when I got on board the flight was turn it into travel mode and put flight mode on. Travel mode, if you don't know what it is, I'm sure most of you do, but it will basically turn off some tracking, which will allow the Vision Pro to stay static instead of, as the plane is moving, all your windows disappear into wherever they originally were. So it locks it in really, really well, and it allows you to now start exploring the Vision Pro whilst being on board, and all your windows stay in place. As you can see here, I had a ton of media on Apple TV. I also had some stuff in Disney Plus, and as I said before, over on the iPad version of Prime Video. So that was kind of my full array of entertainment on board, and as you can see, everything is there, all downloaded onto the headset, and I decided to turn the digital crown and take myself off to Bora Bora. So I'm halfway through the flight now, and I've managed to watch a couple of episodes of some TV shows, watched an episode of Silo, and I've also watched Wicked, which is absolutely amazing. I've never watched Wicked in 3D on Apple TV. It's definitely worth watching. And yeah, flying so far has been absolutely a breeze, no problems whatsoever. Cabin crew are pretty wowed by it, which is pretty amazing. And yeah, the travel mode is solid. It was when I was last on the flight, but now obviously we're in Vision OS 2. It is pretty rock solid. I haven't had any kind of wobbles or movement or anything. So yeah, so far so good. Second half of the flight to go. Got plenty of movies and stuff on Disney Plus. Got some Star Wars stuff as well to watch. So yeah, they'll catch me at the end of the flight.
Welcome to Harry Reid International Airport, Las Vegas, for local time here. Just approaching 6:15 in the evening. We really do hope you enjoyed your time on board with us. We do know you have a choice of airlines to fly with. To Las Vegas, on behalf of the entire team, we thank you for choosing Virgin Atlantic.
From British Airways, Flight 275, arriving from London Heathrow, is now available at baggage claim 31.
Just got through customs, and as soon as I got to the baggage reclaim, my bag was there straight away. So happy days, straight away. Yep. Oh, living the dream. That's an absolute massive bonus. And I got Vision Pro on me, and I'm going to go through with you guys when I get to my Airbnb. I'm going to go through with you guys what I did to utilize Vision Pro on a 10-hour flight and make it work for the whole flight, and why it was just so good. It made the flight go so fast. But let's elaborate once I hit my Airbnb. Before I go and get my Uber, I can go pick up my CES badge straight out of baggage claim.
Okay, scan your QR
Okay,
right up on top.
on that. Brilliant.
Okay.
Excellent.
And then your passport.
Yep,
This is you.
it is me. Thank goodness for that.
It is for you. You have not paid?
Thank you very much. That's amazing. Welcome to my Airbnb here in Las Vegas. Finally made it after a really long flight, and thought I would kind of end this video off with giving you guys a bit of an insight into how I got on with Vision Pro on the flight in general, and how I managed to make the Vision Pro work for me. Not necessarily going to be always right for you guys, but how it worked for me whilst being on the flight and making sure I could utilize it for the majority of the flight. Now, just to be clear, I predominantly just watched media on the device. I didn't do any productivity. I wasn't doing any editing. I will likely do some of that maybe on the way home from here. So maybe I can add that into a future video for you guys to sort of understand how the battery drain is when it comes to doing productivity, maybe the map virtual display. But I, as I showed you before, used the Anna Pro case. That seemed to work very well, and no problems there with putting the Anna Pro on it, keeping it on and off. And then obviously I had a fully charged battery that was straight out the gate. I didn't plug it into anything. I was just using it up until a point where I got to probably into sort of the mid 30%. And then I pulled out this, and this is kind of my little go-to. And I know people out there will be like, well, you could just buy another Vision Pro battery. Well, they're $199 or £199 in the UK. This was a Black Friday. This is the Ugreen. It's a PD 130 watt battery bank, and it is a 20,000 milliamp. It's got two USB-C ports. One is 100 watt, and then it's got one USB-A port. This was absolutely brilliant on the flight. I plugged this in when it got to about 35%, and then that sort of charged it back up to about 80%. And considering that I was watching like a long movie, like I feel like it was over 2 hour movie. I watched an hour-long episode of Silo. I watched some episodes of Skeleton Crew from Disney Plus, and a few YouTube videos I downloaded onto the device. All in all, I put this back. I charged my phone a bit, probably 30-40%. I charged my AirPod Pro 2s as well a little bit to juice them back up, because they needed a bit of a juice back up. Charged the case a little bit, and then I had about 40% left on the battery, and I just charged the battery back up on the Vision Pro because I unplugged it and then let it go back down, and it got to about 20%, and I let the rest of the 40% charge it up. I don't know if it's full or not, but it got me through a 10-hour flight. So there we go. Vision Pro has some practicalities when it comes to travel. It was I was the only person on the flight. I was on a full flight to CES, and the only person on the flight with a Vision Pro, which wasn't surprising. I understand it's an expensive product. Not everyone's going to have one. And also not everyone is as confident as me flying with headsets. I've been doing it for over 6 years with different forms of Oculus and Meta headsets, and Pico headsets. So it doesn't bother me in the slightest using headsets on planes, and no one cares. If anything, the cabin crew are quite interested to know whether they can get one that's their price point, which is fair enough. But all in all, I would definitely recommend, if you own an Apple Vision Pro and you're thinking about flying with it or traveling with it, definitely do if you have the confidence, and you won't regret it. It's a great experience.